Welcome to another edition of Danny's Hot Takes with co-host John.
Who has takes.
You have takes this time.
Lukewarm takes, but they're takes.
They're pretty spicy, I don't know. So we're going to be going over the Death Guard rules from Warzone Charadon today.
Not even going to correct you.
No, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. So we're just going to be going over the Death Guard rules today, which it consists of an army of renown.
Yeah.
I think that's it, right?
Yep. Just the Terminus Est Assault Force.
Which is pretty cool. And Death Guard just got a codex, so they don't need another supplement. Not like Drakari, right?
No, exactly.
Right. Cool. So
we waited a good month from our book to supplement.
All right. So, of course, an army of renown, you have to take an army that abides by the restrictions, but you also get some benefits for doing so. So, in this case, the restrictions for the Terminus Est Assault Force, you cannot take any units with the vehicle keyword. Rough. You can't take Mortarion. Rough. Well, maybe. I don't know. All units must be Death Guard, and if they have a plague company, they have to be drawn from the Harbingers.
Rough.
Yeah, that is rough. And if your army includes Typhus, that model must be your Warlord. If Typhus is your Warlord, he gains the Harbinger of Death Warlord trait in addition to any other Warlord trait that he gets. That's awesome.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's really cool. I didn't see that before, so that's nice to know that I'm actually... Yeah. You can tell I've reviewed this very heavily.
Yeah, no, he gets double the trait. So he gets his little mortal wound bubble from the Death Guard Codex on top of that Harbinger of Death.
Nice, yeah. So the benefits you get the Terminus Est Assault Force keyword. You gain access to the Terminus Est Assault Force Warlord trait, Relic, and Stratagems. Death Guard Psychers can generate their psychic powers from the Fester discipline, which is a whole 6-power discipline that you can choose from. And Terminus Est Assault Force units gain the Outbreak Assault ability, which is described below. Basically, and correct me if I'm wrong here, John.
Okay.
But Outbreak Assault lets you deep strike units from your army.
Yep.
That have the Bubonic Astartes keyword.
Yeah, so anything...
in strategic reserve, right?
That you choose to place in strategic reserve instead of coming in on your table edge per the normal rules, you pretty much deep strike it in, as long as it's Bubonic Astartes. So cultists can do it, Poxwalkers can do it, sadly. But it does cost a little bit more.
It does. They did change the strategic reserves CP.
Extra command point per step, so minimum 2 command points to drop in stuff now.
Yep, which is significant.
But when you can drop stuff anywhere, it's fair.
I agree.
Sadly.
So let's look at that Warlord trait, Harbinger of Death. So this is something that Typhus gets if he's your Warlord. Enemy units that have a leadership characteristic of 7 or more, 7 or less that are within 3 inches of this Warlord, don't get OBSEC and can't perform actions. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And, in addition, while 1 or more enemy units are in range of this aura, add 1 to the Warlord's attack characteristics. So that takes Typhus to 7 attacks, right?
Yep, within 6 inches, because... Oh, no, it's contagious. Never mind. Yeah. The nice thing about this is kind of looking through it here, because I thought a leadership characteristic of 7 or less wasn't great. The majority of cheap Chaffee troops for every army are 7 or less. So
sure.
Elder Guardians, all of the Chaos Demons...
Mm-hmm.
Marines without a sergeant.
Yep, especially if they're like combat squatted.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think that's great. And it makes your opponent make sure that they keep those sergeants around to keep their units from losing OBSEC, which is a big freaking deal. So yeah, let's go over these stratagems. Man, these stratagems are pricey, but they're good, right? So Rotting Tide. Use the stratagem in the reinforcement step of your movement phase. Select a Terminus Est Assault Force Poxwalkers unit from your army that is below half strength and remove it from the battlefield. Or select the Terminus Est Assault Force Poxwalkers unit from your army that has been destroyed. Set that unit up at starting strength wholly within 6 inches of any battlefield edge other than the enemy's battlefield edge and more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. You can only use this stratagem once. If that unit has a starting strength of 10 or fewer models, the stratagem costs 2. Otherwise, it costs 3. A whole dead unit you get back? That's amazing.
So I think for 3 CP, this is a steal. Because the kind of jank you can do with it, you can teleport your guys up the table. I think it combos really well with the Spread the Sickness stratagem to get some of those mid to further board tables objectives. Then also, imagine, so you put all your fire into the Poxwalkers. It takes a couple turns to kill them. Maybe you... use your stratagem from the main Death Guard book to bring up to 7 back. And then you kill them down again. And then you just bring that same unit back. It's really annoying. And even though Poxwalkers, that's just a 100-point unit for 3 CP to green tide them anywhere you want, it's
very
huge.
Powerful. Yeah, I agree. They're way tougher than you would know by just looking at their profile. Another thing you could do that too is if you needed to get like some units within a contagion range.
Oh yeah,
you could do that to make sure that you were getting them within 9 inches or whatever. Oh, is it? It's 9 though, maximum, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could combo it up with a psychic power if you wanted to boost it.
And something else Innes, contributor to the show, pointed out was you can self-kill your unit down to teleport them across the table.
Sure.
Using placement and morale and coherency to kind of kill yourself down below half
so that you can do it
across the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Jank.
It is. It's good jank, though. Then you've got Unleash the Horde. This one's great, too, John.
It's so good.
Use the stratagem in your move phase when a Terminus Assault Force... Man, why does it have to be 3 words? Anyway. Force Poxwalker's unit from your army is selected to move, or in the fight phase when they're selected to fight. Until the end of the turn, add 3 inches to the move characteristic of all blah, blah, blah Poxwalkers models from your army. And each time those models pile in, they can move an additional 3 inches. Gross. That takes them to movement 7?
Yep.
Ugh.
So I see this as a really good one, turn 1, to really just grab midboard, right away. If you were to just advance, because you're advancing Poxwalkers turn 1 anyway.
Right.
For 2 CP, you have, and if you're like me, 80 Poxwalkers in your list for moving forward 8 to 14 inches.
Right.
Or 8 to 13 inches. Turn 1 to just really hold that entire midfield table.
And that puts them almost either roughly at the mid table or even potentially beyond it if you roll a 6 to advance. That's pretty good. Man, that's very powerful.
For 2
I love
CP.
It. For 2 command points, it's very good.
And then late game, if you still have your Poxwalkers around, the ability to consolidate 6 inches.
Yeah.
You can wrap, trap, you can get more guys onto objectives.
Yep, or even onto objectives, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
just so
tie
many
extra
things you
stuff
can
up.
do with that.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. Pestilential Drop. Use the stratagem in the reinforcement step of your move phase when you set up a Terminus S Assault Force unit from your army onto the battlefield using the Outbreak Assault rule or the Teleport Strike ability. Select one Contagion of Neural ability that unit has until the end of the turn. The contagion range for that ability is 12 inches for that unit. This is not cumulative with any other abilities that can increase contagion range. See Codex Death card. That's cool. Yeah, maxing out your contagion range at 12 inches is awesome because that's the max range it can be normally anyway, right?
Yeah, so 12 is the max. It works, I almost want to suicide a character down. To just pinpoint someone down and just get that giant...
Terminator Sorcerer, baby.
Oh, he's back.
He's coming back.
But no, if you combine it with Outbreak Assault Strategic Reserves, you can get one of those cheap Foated Viron characters.
Sure.
Plop them down, 12-inch range. Reduce the toughness.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't think it's used every game, but I think in certain circumstances it works really well.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Callous Disregard. This one's great, I think.
Yes.
So they did preview this on GW's site. This essentially lets you pick a unit and shoot into combat with Poxwalkers or Cultists. You're -1 to hit, and if you don't hit, then you hit the Poxwalkers or Cultists instead.
Yeah. You know what this works great with?
Stuff that doesn't roll the hit, John?
Death Shroud.
Yeah, exactly. So they get into your Poxwalkers. They think they're safe. They put a barrier of Poxwalkers in between you and the nasty Death Shroud. And the Death Shroud are like, okay, that's cute. Here, I'm just going to flamer you instead.
But they very carefully flamer over the top of the Poxwalkers.
Well, so the stuff that I figure it's the stuff they're shooting out of the flamers the Poxwalkers like anyway. So it becomes like a foam party, and the Poxwalkers are just raving in this stuff, and the enemies are melting.
So, you might have to spend more CP to make that work by adding 6 inches to the range of their little hand flamer, but at the same time, it's really good together.
I think it's great. I could also see this being used if a character gets locked up with your unit, and you have a... what is that guy called? The Flamer dude.
Oh, yeah, the Foul Blight Spawn.
Yeah, Foul Blight Spawn, thank you. Flamering, into a character with, some -3 AP, strength 8, 2 damage shots.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that being
It also combos really well with Blight Lord Terminators, a max squad of them shoot in. If it wipes out wipes out all the Poxwalkers, doesn't matter, Rotten Tide them back.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's cool. Yeah, a lot of cool synergy there. All right. Then we have the Fester Discipline. So we have the Gift of Infection, which is a malediction, warp charge. So one thing I did notice, almost all these powers are warp charge 7. That's really high.
It's really high. High risk, high reward, though. There's
True, they're
really
very good.
There's
They're
very good powers here. Even the 6 is a good one. But yeah, compared to the main Death Card book, they're very pricey.
Yep, agreed. So Gift of Infection basically lets you put the Nurgle's Gift onto a unit from range. So it makes a unit -1 toughness, which is great considering you can't take any vehicles, so you probably don't have a ton of anti-tank weapons, but it allows you to hurt like a tank with bolters potentially, or like flamer shots, things like that, which is pretty good. Then you have Lung Rot.
This one's great. Holy cow.
Yeah, this one's awesome. Warp Charge 7, pick a unit within 18 inches of the Psyker. They cannot advance each time they are selected to charge. They can only charge units within 6, and they can't reroll charges. That's so good. Like, it's really annoying. Yeah, it's kind of like a Thunderfire cannon, but amazing. Then you have Pernicious Dose. So this is a blessing, warp charge 7.
I was going to say real quick on that Lung Rot.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Did I miss something?
Good. No. If you target a buffing character. So maybe the squad charges in.
Oh, but then there's no way he's going to be able to advance to keep it.
Keep up, and he won't be able to buff him. So
that's true.
That stops 2 units from moving up.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty good. That's a good point. So Pernicious Dose is warp charge 7. Select a friendly unit within 6 inches of the Psyker until the start of your next psychic phase. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack with a plague weapon, you can reroll the to hit roll. That's cool.
Hey, Death Shroud.
Yeah, that's solid.
And the thing I like it the best is you can do the big boy swings with the Death Shroud and reroll all.
Sure.
Which is a -1 to hit usually. So if you're at a Tallyman range or you don't have a buffing character near them, so good.
I agree. That's pretty cool too on a squad of 10 Blight Lords with bolters, and you make their bolters into plague weapons. I could see that being good too. Or Plague Marines with the icon where 6 is to hit auto wound.
Yes.
And then you can just reroll everything that you don't want.
Fish.
Yeah. Fish for 6s. I think that's cool too. Then you have Noxious Discharge. Man, that's nasty. Warp charge of 6. So this is the 6th one. If manifested, select an enemy unit within 12 inches and visible to the Psyker. They take a mortal wound. All units within 3 inches of that model take a mortal wound except for Nurgle units. That's pretty cool. If they have a bunch of characters bubbled up around like a screen, like you're just going to do like a bunch of mortal wounds on a 6.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like that one. Let's see. Rotwind. Warp charge 7.
Shock.
Yeah. We already went past the 6, so we know what the other ones are going to be. Pick an enemy unit within 18 until the start of your next psychic phase. When that model makes an attack, reduce the armor penetration by 2. That's so good. Jesus Christ, that's awesome.
Isn't that gross?
That's really good. Like all of the good AP that your opponent might have on something, like especially if it's AP -2. I'm even thinking like a knight.
Like the Gatling cannon on a knight is
just
now
garbage.
Garbage.
Yeah, that's awesome. It was already garbage against Death Guard, but that's the point is
double garbage.
It's double garbage. That's right. Yeah, that is a really powerful one to nuke like a very powerful vehicle or unit. I really like that. All right, Accelerated Entropy. Warp Charge 7, select an enemy unit within 12 inches and visible to the Psyker. Both players roll a d6 and then add their toughness characteristic. If the result is higher than your opponent's, that enemy model, or that enemy model's unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. If it's double than what your opponent rolls, then they take d3 plus 3 mortal wounds. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if you give them -1 toughness from Contagion, so they're like toughness 3 or toughness 2, and they're trying to roll, like, you can just nuke them out with mortal wounds. And that's not closest either, so if they're within... Targeted. Yeah, you can totally target a character with that. And even beating them, which is pretty likely, still means you're doing 3 flat mortal wounds to them.
Which if you combine with either Noxious Discharge, which is also targeted, which gets most characters down to that
That's
3
true,
level.
Yeah.
It's a good combo. But again, you got to roll 7 twice to make it happen.
It's fucking spicy.
Yeah.
No, Noxious Discharge is 6.
Oh, 6. Oh, God. Only 1 7.
Dude, it's happening. All right. So, Filth Sensors. Psyker model... Oh, these are the relics. I'm sorry. Filth Sensors. Psyker model only adds 6 inches to the range of psychic powers. And if it has multiple distances, only the first distance mentioned. So that's basically the range of the power. That's a great relic.
Yeah.
Especially since all these are 18, that boosts them to 24. It's very good for lung rot.
Yep.
That allows you to nuke them at 24 inches, which is great. Mark of the Terminus Est, +1 strength. Each time an attack is made against the bearer, your opponent cannot reroll the wound roll. Awesome. Half a glowing blow. Once per battle, when a saving throw is failed by the bearer, you can use this ability. Then you just pass instead. No. The key here, John, is that instead of failing, you just pass instead.
Half of your coaching. So personally, because I'll be running a Terminus S Assault Force here pretty much for the future, my Demon Prince has the Mark of the Terminus S.
That's good. I like that.
And it's combined with the Warlord trait where he doesn't get wounded on a 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, that's brutal. I love it. That's cool. That gives him +1 wound too, right? Oh, nice. Ugh, God, what a jerk.
+1 strength too.
Oh, so we strength 9 with the sword? Hell yeah. Okay. Then we have Vomix's Virulent Blight. A model equipped with a plague weapon only. During deployment, select one plague weapon the bearer is equipped with. That weapon gains the following ability. Each time the bearer shoots or fights, after making its attack, select one enemy unit that has lost any wounds as a result of an attack made by this weapon. Then select one contagion of neural ability the bearer has. Until the end of the battle, that enemy unit is always considered to be in range of that contagion range of that unit. That's pretty cool.
Pretty good.
It's kind of neat, yeah.
It's a cute one.
Yeah. It's good if your opponent has a Death Star and you don't think you can kill it in one turn and you don't want to get too close to it.
Right.
I like that. Canker is the obligatory plasma pistol relic. It's not bad though. I mean,
it's really good. It's like strength 9.
Yeah.
AP -4, 3 flat damage. It's a plague weapon.
Yeah, so it gets reroll once to wound. I mean, it's fine. 3 flat damage is cool.
There's just so many other better relics.
Yeah, totally. Rot Grip is cool. This is replaces a Power Fist or Plague Claw. It gives you ×3 strength, -3 AP, 2 flat damage, and no -1 to hit, and it's a plague weapon, which is pretty good. So this is on your Lord of Virulence character or a
Chaos Lord.
A Chaos Lord, yeah. I like it on
the
Chaos
Lord of the Virulence, it's strength 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he need strength 12? Maybe. I don't know. Still good.
Always needs strength.
Yeah, fair. Reaper of Misery. So this replaces a Man Reaper or Plague Reaper. So it gives you +2 strength, -3 AP, 1 damage, and you get to make 2 attacks instead of 1.
It's like the multi-swing version of the Reaper of Glorious Entropy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't like that one. I think that one's not great. It gives you a good AP on your multi-swing. That's basically what it does. Yeah, I agree. And then Raiment of Atrophy. For the purpose of determining the contagion range of this model's contagion of Nurgle abilities, treat the current battle round number as 1 higher than it actually is. That's okay.
There's so many other ways to increase contagion range.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not fantastic.
All right. So, and I think that's it.
That is it, yeah.
So, John, tell me about this this battle force. Like, what do you think? What do you see? How do you see this playing on the table?
So I see flooding the board with Poxwalkers.
Yeah.
And
as you would expect from Typhus Company, right?
And causing just a ton of pressure on the board with Poxwalkers, then dropping in just a buttload of Terminators. Death Shroud, Blight Lords. I mean, Danny, I'm showing you the list I'm working on for this.
Sure.
Is literally just Terminators.
It's Terminators and Poxwalkers.
With the idea being, again, if you kill the Poxwalkers, they're going to come back. I'm either going to bring them back through one stratagem or the other. If you don't, then the Poxwalkers are going to score points with Spread the Sickness and by holding objectives.
Yep.
And if you attack the Poxwalkers, then the Dash Rod and the Blight Lords will get you. So really, it's just threat overload and really focusing on scoring instead of killing.
Yeah, and there's so many models in that army too. Like it's going to be really tough to chew through Meat Mountain to actually get to the Terminators.
I think my current list is 107 models.
Dang. And like 20 of those are 3-wound Terminators. Yeah.
But it's a great sub. If this is how you're playing Death Guard, I mean, I know the Contemptor with the double Volkite is super popular. People are still really loving the Flash Mowers and the Blight Haulers. But if you're not using vehicles, or if you cannot use vehicles, this list has so many tools to just overwhelm. Large fan.
For sure. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about seeing this on the table. Yeah. I'm sure I'm going to have to play against it a lot.
You absolutely will.
Fuck. Okay. So that's been a review of the Death Guard portion of Codex Charadon. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel.
Mog Rules.
Mog Rules at Mog Rules Media. Yep. And if you liked it, you can also listen to our podcast, which comes out every other week.
Yeah.
We'll see you around.